So you remember when you were like 12, 13, 14 years old and you had those posters on the wall, you know, cars that you were gonna buy one day when you were old enough, you were gonna save up all the money you could and you were gonna buy that car that you absolutely loved. Well, guess what? Mine was a Ford Escort, not a Porsche 944. But my mate has very kindly dropped off a 944 for me. It's his personal 944. I have to say, I am pretty excited. I've never ever driven a Porsche 944 before. I don't know anything about them. So if you've come here for a review on a Porsche 944 and you're expecting me to give you all of the knowledge and all of the information about one of these cars, well, this probably isn't going to be the video for you. This is going to be a video about me just personally getting to know the car, driving the car for the very first time and maybe doing a little comparison on what it's like for me driving this car as opposed to the cars that I'm used to, like the Cayman, like the 911. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this car. It's a Porsche 944, it's a 1987 2.5 litre engine. I think it's got 163 brake horsepower. It's got 159,000 miles on the clock. This car's 33 years old. It's looking good. It has got some, you know, wear marks, but you've got to expect that for a 33-year-old car. So let's get into it and let's take it out for a drive and let's see how I get on with it. So it's a front engine, rear wheel drive car, and Porsche claim that this car can do 0 to 60 in 8.3 seconds. And to be honest with you, I don't think this car in particular is capable of doing anything like that. It feels like it's been held back. It feels like the caliper's sticking. My mate did tell me that there was a problem with the brakes, and I think that's what it is. There's a caliper sticking somewhere, so it needs a bit of a service, it needs a bit of work doing on it. But other than that, it seems to drive okay. So the first thing that I notice about this car instantly is that 80s smell. It takes me way back, over 30 years ago, to when I was sitting in the back of my dad's car. But the feel of the car is very different to what I'm used to in my 911, my Cayman and my Boxster. You know, the roof is very low, in fact. The seating position is a lot higher than I actually expected, much higher than the 911, the Cayman and the Boxster. And the car doesn't feel like it has power steering at all. I'm not entirely sure whether it does or whether the system just needs a service, there's a problem with the belt or the fluids or whatever. It's not such a problem when you're on the move at higher speeds, but when you're trying to maneuver at lower speeds, then it becomes a bit of a chore, in fact. Very heavy indeed. And when I take a look at the 944, I don't automatically think, wow, what a good looking car, what a sexy car. Even though it is an icon and it's really, really highly thought of with all of the 944 enthusiasts, and you know, there's a big following in the 944 club. But what I do look at and what I do see is an absolute icon and an absolute really, really cool car. And I've seen a few of them at shows. I haven't really paid them a lot of attention. I've looked at a few on the Auto Trader, and the colours which stand out for me, definitely the red, this colour here, and I also like the black ones as well. The gears are sometimes a little bit notchy, sometimes it can feel a little bit difficult to select the right gear, and sometimes the whole gator and the gear stick feels really loose. So I'm not sure if something just needs tightening up in there. Maybe the shifter cables need sorting. And the car definitely feels underpowered. This is a 2.5 litre engine, and it feels like a naughty school kid that's been held back a year at school. And I'm sure getting the 2.7 or driving the 3 litre or the turbo would make a world of difference. Now, as you'll probably know, the car is a front engine car, but it has near 50-50 weight distribution. That's because of the rear transaxle balancing everything out. See, this looks like a nice place to stop and take some pictures. Oh, one thing I haven't showed you actually is these headlights. How cool are these? what about the prices of these cars? It's a 33-year-old car, it's a classic Porsche, and I think we're entering a minefield of variables. And on top of that, I don't really know a lot about these cars, enough about these cars to tell you how much you should be paying for one of these cars. But a quick look on the Auto Trader has told me that I could pick up a car which needs probably a little bit of work doing to it, or maybe a lot of work to it, who knows, a 2.5 for around about £3,500. There are 3-litre S models for around about £10,000. And for the turbo model, well, depending on age, condition, mileage, etc., there's one for sale for £49,000. Please. So what a great experience that is. I really enjoyed driving that 944 today. In fact, it's not a car that's going to get you laid, and you know, I don't think anybody would buy a car like this thinking that. But what it does offer you is a route into classic Porsche ownership without paying classic Porsche prices. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you which model you should be going for, because like I say, I just don't know enough about these cars. But I do know that the car I've been in today, the car I've been driving today, has actually opened my eyes to the world of 944s. It's given me so much enjoyment that I just didn't really think I would get. I thought it would be, you know, just a bit of an old classic that I didn't really enjoy, but having driven the car now, it's made me look at these cars in a whole different light. And I'm fairly sure that enjoyment would be doubled, if not tripled, if I was driving the turbo model. I'm not in the market for another Porsche right now, but when I am, would I consider buying one of these 944s? Well, 100% yes. I think they're a true 80s classic. Now I've driven it, I think I've got more of an appreciation about the way it looks, and I'll certainly be keeping more attention, or giving these cars more attention, keeping a closer eye on these every time I see one at a show or at a classic car meet. And I'll also be looking at them on the Auto Trader, keeping an eye on the prices and seeing how the prices vary from model to model. Maybe just spending the time to learn a bit more about the models. Well done, Porsche, well done indeed. It's a great looking car, it's a great classic. So I've really enjoyed my little day here with the 944, and I hope you guys have as well. It's been something a little bit different for me and something a little bit different for you guys as well. So I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please go ahead and click that like button. Also, if you haven't already, maybe consider clicking that subscribe button and click the bell so you don't miss a single thing. You can also follow the TPN Rainmaker on Facebook and on Instagram. I'll put the links below this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you real soon.